I had actually purchased a car and drove it off the lot. I didn't know what to do, but thankfully I had LifeLock.
LifeLock alerts you to identity threats, and if there's a problem, we work to fix it.
LifeLock provides the type of protection I need.
Help protect what's yours with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Call right now.
You hear it, bacon, that sizzle.
Dude, what other food does that? Applauds itself
There's no
on the
other
way
food
out.
that claps for itself. Sonic bacon on bacon, quarter-pound double cheeseburger. I've never thought about this before.
Educational fun at Reflection Writing's Outdoor Summer Day Camp.
Okay, we're going to help you make plans for a week from today. Hard to believe we're going to flip the calendar to May this weekend, which means it is time for the Armed Forces Day Parade on May 6th. We couldn't talk about that and not have Hamilton County historian Linda Mines on the show. And today she has brought a good friend of hers, Colonel Bill Brooks, who is with the Chattanooga Area Veterans Council. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
So, Linda, I want to kick it off with you because you said that this is, what, our 73rd parade?
It is. It is our 73rd Armed Forces Day Parade, which means that Chattanooga hosts the longest, oldest, continuously staged Armed Forces Day Parade in the nation. We are indeed America's most patriotic city.
Which means that we want everyone to be out live and in person on Friday. And you're kind of, I guess, in charge of that to a degree, Colonel Brooks, and getting that enthusiasm for people eager to come and cheer us on.
Yes, I'm part of the team. I have a dual role. My primary role is that I oversee the 10 high schools in Hamilton County School that have JRTC programs, but I'm also the chairman for the Chattanooga Area's Veterans Council.
So let's talk a little bit about the students.
Okay.
Because my thought used to be that if you were in JROTC, that meant that that was kind of your springboard into serving in the military. But you say really it's more of a citizenship leadership focus than it is getting you ready for the military. Is that right?
That is correct. For high school students, our mission is to motivate young people to be better citizens. So we focus on citizenship, community service, leadership. They're really our future. There is less than 3% of JRTC students who go on to do military service.
But they all go on to do pretty impressive things.
They do, and if you don't mind me saying so,
Sure.
We have a student at Sail Creek High School, Cadet Molly Welch. She's going to the Naval Academy this year, next year. And we have a young man at Central High School who's going to West Point.
Wow.
In addition, we have students, a lot of schools with GRTC programs, you'll find your valedictorian, your salutatorian. We've got really good students.
Well, Linda, I would imagine as the historian in the group, when you hear those words citizenship and leadership, those are buzzwords for you because our military couldn't be as strong as it is and as impactful as it is if it didn't have good citizens stepping up to serve.
That's absolutely correct. And in fact, we can remember moments in history when our citizens were not as informed about what our military was doing. But you know, the wonderful thing about the program that Bill coordinates and chairs and everything is what you're going to see in the Armed Forces Day Parade, and that's that it takes active, engaged leadership from all citizens, and seeing those young ROTC students, seeing those high school bands, seeing our veterans, seeing our armed forces, active duty soldiers and sailors and Marines and airmen out there in the parade is a good reminder to the general population that we are a nation that is based on active, engaged citizenship. So, you know, we're hoping everybody will turn out for the parade, bring their flags, cheer for this nation, because we only get better when we are engaged.
You know, for us in these last 2 years, it has felt like we were really isolated because in parts of the country, especially, we truly were. And it's really easy to kind of slip into this idea that you're alone. The patriots out there are going to come anyway. They do. But for people who are young people who might not feel that power of what it is to be an American, do you think if they come to the parade, they'll leave a little bit transformed?
I think they will, and I just remember my own experiences as I'm a Chattanooga resident, and I remember as a kid in elementary school sitting on the curb waving my little flag, and really it's an educational process as well, because you start asking questions. What are they doing? Who is that in that uniform? And you get more informed, and I think it's important for young people to understand service to country as well.
I only have a couple of minutes left, but do you mind sharing your service with us?
Well, I'm a Chattanooga resident, and I got my commission out of Middle Tennessee State University as a second lieutenant. I served on active duty in the United States Army for 23 years, and I retired right back home here in 2007. That's when I then became part of Hamilton County Schools.
Do you think you would consider your service some of the best years of your life?
Yes, I wouldn't do it anything differently. I was an individual who had a 3-year commitment out of college, and I ended up 23 years. I had no idea that I would stay 23 years, but I loved what I was doing. I love serving my country, and I wouldn't do anything differently.
Linda, I've got a minute left, so I'll leave it with you because I have a feeling if I set you up, you'll fly. That he served in his way. All of us can serve in our own way. You don't have to be in the military to serve your country.
And that's so true. And you know, what I want people to remember is that, you know, this parade has been around a long time, and a lot of the current leaders, our past leaders, are young people or adults who marched in the parade. And I would encourage everyone to come out to support, especially our schools that will be there, because you might be looking at the next Bill Brooks. You might be looking at the next Jim Coppinger.
Right.
You may be looking at that future leader because each and every one of us serves and leads.
So where do they show up? May 6th, all of it begins where?
Downtown, the parade starts at Martin Luther King and goes down Market Street to 5th Street.
All right, and remember, if he could be the little boy sitting there waving his American flag, you can be the grown man sitting there waving the American flag. So nice to have you both.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your service to our country. We're back with more 3+U in just a minute.
I got hurt at work. Why should I call Jay and Brent at the McMahon Law Firm?
Because when you're hurt on the job, you deserve workers' comp.